That was This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arms Race by Fall Out Boy here in Shmoo FM 99.8 FM. Right then, the Muppets
Most Wanted.
Now this revolves around a Russian Kermit lookalike being released from prison and no one realising that he's got a Russian accent.
Yeah, and a mole on his face.
Yes.
That's the kind of very basic plot. The plot, first, a bit of preface here. I absolutely loved the, if we take this kind of rebooted Muppets as its own series and have the 2011 Muppets film be the first one in the series, I think that film is brilliant. I absolutely love Life's a Happy Song, which is one of the songs from it. And the main thing I think people will remember from that film is that song. But I just thought it resurrected the Muppets, but at the same time it has this whole satirical underpinning about how no one remembers the Muppets anymore and time has moved on. I thought it was really, really wonderful, and I'd give that film easily a 9 out of 10. And like I said, I still listen to Life's a Happy Song like once or twice a week. Until the Frozen soundtrack came along, it was probably my top film song of the past 2 or 3 years. But then the reviews for this one started coming out, and it got the definition of kind of very, very mixed reviews. And the plot, like you say, is that your favourite person ever, Ricky Gervais.
Ricky, just isn't he great, Gervais? For those people who don't know, I do not like him.
I like him, but at the same time, I can understand totally why he's got as many haters as he has. Because he is incredibly smug.
He is. He knows he has made lots of money, and he knows that he's done it because of his name. And I don't like that.
Yes. So the plot this time is that, carrying on, the film literally opens with the end screen of the last film.
Oh. Well, that's quite a cool concept, I suppose.
Yes. And what then happens is that during the opening musical number, which is, interestingly, Disney released the opening musical number, which is kind of, I think, big thing people remember as part of the marketing campaign. It's called, they do this musical number about doing a sequel, and it's actually very funny. It would have been more funny had I not seen it already as part of the marketing campaign for the film. But they'll obviously push that song to win Best Song as Man or Muppet from the 2011 film. One Best Song. So what then happens is, as you say, the Russian Kermit, Konstantin, you see him escaping from the kind of Russian gulag after the opening musical number, and what then happens is that simultaneously Ricky Gervais recruits all of the Muppets to go on a world tour. And then what happens is that all the places that they go on the world tour are places that he and Konstantin, the evil Kermit, want to steal priceless artifacts from.
Oh, well, isn't that curious?
Yeah. And they go to all these places, and it eventually ends with them trying to steal the crown jewels. Meanwhile, Kermit is, at the same time that Konstantin has taken the Kermit role in the Muppet kind of brigade, the actual Kermit has been shipped off to the Russian gulag that the Konstantin character was in, and it's kind of ruled over by Tina Fey in this Russian accent. Meanwhile, Ty Burrell and Sam the Eagle are kind of doing the kind of Ty Burrell's character very much inspired by Clouseau, kind of doing the investigation as to why the Muppets could be stealing all these priceless artifacts. So, like I said, this film got very mixed reviews. And I went and saw it on the opening kind of Saturday, still with quite high expectations because I enjoyed the first one, the kind of Muppets reboot so much. I had to say, this it's good. It's a decent follow-up, but I don't know. I got the sense that something was missing, and I kind of can understand why it's got less favourable reviews. Well, the first film is genuinely laugh out loud funny from start to finish. This film kind of has a lot of amusing moments, but no real belly laughs, and the kind of and it kind of, yes, it's good, but like I say, it doesn't have that special something that the first film had. I think the best element is the Ty Burrell and Sam the Eagle stuff. They're really funny. The one element I'd say this improves on is actually the songs when taken as a whole, because everyone loves Life's a Happy Song and Man or Muppet, but the rest of the songs in that film are... Well, there's only like 2 other songs, and this film has a lot more songs. And well, they don't kind of hit the kind of Life's a Happy Song level of, you have to listen to this again now and constantly on repeat for the next week. They're all kind of pretty good. Brett McKenzie of Flight of the Conchords comes back, and he's a very, very talented comedic songwriter. Like I said, for the most part, I enjoyed it. Where it falls down is, I think, in the first film, the celebrity cameos were very much reserved for the kind of third act. And I don't know if giving away some of the celebrity cameos in this film counts as a spoiler, but I'm going to give away some of them anyway, because I don't think it's necessarily a spoiler. I got spoiled on the most gratuitous one in a review I watched, which is in the third act, there's a Muppet wedding, and one of the Muppets goes, "We need an usher," and who should turn round. I'd heard about this cameo before I saw the film, and Chris's reaction there,
I'm giving up.
Summed up my reaction.
I give up. Film has died.
Even when I knew that the cameo was coming. And there are other ones that kind of make no sense, like Puff Daddy.
What? Really? Puff Daddy has not been in any way a celebrity in years. What? Oh. This is why I don't watch these films, because they are just no.
There are a few nice little touches, like Zach Galifianakis turns up playing the same cameo character he does in the first film. You've also got Hugh Bonneville, Tom Hiddleston.
Oh yeah. So some good ones, but some but just horrible ones.
You have the ones like Usher, and like I say, I'm willing to forgive also the Lady Gaga cameo because she has done stuff with the Muppets in the past. And there were some I noticed that literally have like Saoirse Ronan, James McAvoy, and who was the other one? Anyway, Saoirse Ronan and James McAvoy are essentially given and Chloe Moretz are essentially given like one line, 3-second cameos, and it's like,
why?
If you're going to do, I mean, I recognise Chloe Moretz, but I looked at the kind of cast list afterwards to make sure, and Ray Liotta also, he has a slightly bigger cameo, but I kind of looked at the cast list afterwards, but when you look at like James McAvoy's credit, you just think, he was that guy?
Yeah.
He had literally about 6 words before he was off screen, and I understand the kind of mentality of the cameo, but if you're not going to use your cameos well, it just
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to tell you about the most gratuitous one, I thought. Okay, so there's a gag in it where Miss Piggy sings My Heart Will Go On, which is, I think, inherently funny, because that's what most people sound like when they do My Heart Will Go On. But when you get to big emotional musical number and Celine Dion actually turns up,
Oh, dear.
it was like,
Why?
no thanks.
What would you give this film out of 10 then, Tim?
I'd give it 7.25, maybe.
7.
I enjoyed it, but like I say, some of the cameos and some of the other elements, kind of the Usher one, is just I
Just terrible.
heard about it before I saw it, but I hadn't expected it to be quite that gratuitous.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Need for Speed. Now, I put down many months ago that I thought that from the